Hey everyone, it's Reagan Black. I wanted to come to you with another video today featuring one of the topics that we cover in the book, Get These Ideas Out of Your Head by Cynthia Bazin and myself. And you can find more about Cynthia Bazin at smartchick.me. I'm going to post those links in the description as well. You can find out more about me at reaganblack.com. But today I wanted to come in here and a lot of times when we're writing, we feel very alone, right? It's very common. It's an individual sport. It's us and the page. It's us and the keyboard. It's us and the ideas in our head that we need to get out there. And one of the things we bump into in that space and that sense of solitude is a little voice that we refer to as the inner critic. And that's one of the topics that Cynthia and I address, is how to defeat your inner critic so that you can get your book done in a timely manner. And we have a whole new program starting May 22nd. You definitely want to learn more about that. I'll post the links of that as well. But I really wanted to be here and just, because inner critic is so common and because we all fight it, I wanted to bring you a couple tips to help you overcome inner critic, some of the things that have worked for me. Sometimes when I'm writing and the words really start flowing, I'll get this little nagging voice in my head that says, oh, you've overused that word. And in the beginning of my writing career, I would stop what I was doing. It would just interrupt my flow. I'd stop what I was doing. I'd go do a search for that word. Now I know better. That little niggling voice is often fear. It's, in my opinion, it really is a manifestation of fear. That, oh, you can't do this. Oh, it's not good enough. Oh, it'll never amount to anything no matter how much you edit it. And we really have to practice to block out that fear. So one of the things that I learned to do, again, trial and error. I've been at this a long time. One of the things I learned to do was just to make myself a note. So if I hear that little voice in my head and it says, oh, you use that word all the time, rather than go and search for it and interrupt the flow, I'll simply use brackets and just put like vocab or something to that regard, or a question mark even, so that I know when I'm going through in revisions to do a search for that word. If it's a thought, if I'm afraid I'm repeating something or the layering's wrong, I will do the same thing. I'll make myself a note and I'll keep writing, keeping myself in the story or the book, whatever it is. And that's one way I've learned to defeat that little niggling voice that wants to interrupt my progress. And it's a way of defeating that moment manifestation of fear, okay? The other tip I want to share with you is sometimes you have to get sassy. If your inner critic is sitting on your shoulder, just telling you that every word that's coming out of your hands or out of your head, onto the page, through keyboard, pen, however you like to write, if that little voice sitting in your shoulder is telling you it's horrible, it's bad, it's crap, nobody's ever going to read it, sometimes you got to get sassy. I mean, my inner critic sounds a lot like my poetry teacher from 6th grade when we did a poetry unit. And in front of the entire class, she told me how I would never, ever be, I was 6th grade, and she was telling in front of the whole class how terrible my project was and how worthless it was. It stuck with me a long time. But you know, my first published work was poetry. And yes, I did remember it. But my inner critic still sounds a lot like her. It manifests that fear of being in front of the class and being embarrassed. So one of the things that I have taken to doing, I don't even know when I exactly started it, but I just got fed up one day and I got sassy and I was like, how many books have you written? So yes, I'm sitting here writing a book in the world with my characters, talking to another voice in my head that's being mean. And I just flat out asked, how many books have you written, inner critic? And you know what? She shuts up. That voice, that echo, the I can't do it echo from my past all the way back to 6th grade. I mean, dinosaurs were almost still roaming the earth at this point. That's okay, that's been a long time. That voice all the way back there, I got sassy with it and I just flat out asked, how many books have you written? And when I do that, that voice shuts up, goes away for a while, and I'm able to keep going. All right, so those are my 2 tips for defeating your inner critic. Make yourself a note if it's an inner critic that's trying to interrupt you. And if it's an inner critic telling you you really suck, get sassy with it. All right, just get sassy with it and knock that voice, make it be quiet. Okay, and then just keep writing. As I said, Cynthia and I have a new program coming out. It's a mastermind group, personal group, small group coaching to help you get your book written in record time. I will post that information in the comments and in the video description, so you can definitely follow those links and learn more about it. And I will be back again soon with more writing tips for your journey. Live the adventure. Bye.